The first time I saw her, I wasn't sure she was real. I was standing in the vast crystalline hall of Varelian 9, the capital world of the Luthari Dominion, a civilization of beings both ancient and dazzlingly advanced. Their technology bent light itself, their cities floated in orbit like silent cathedrals of silver, and their people were said to communicate through more than words, through waves of thought and feeling, intertwined like music and emotion. I was there as a human diplomat's assistant, one of the few earthlings permitted inside the royal complex. My job was simple: translate mechanical data, manage communication frequencies, and stay out of trouble. The Dominion wasn't known for patience with outsiders, and humanity's first contact with them was still fragile, held together by treaties, smiles, and unspoken tension. But when she entered the hall, everything around me stopped. The alien queen, Queen Serathan Velura, moved with a presence that made gravity seem to bow before her. Her luminous skin shifted colors with her emotions, soft blue for calm, violet for curiosity, and a faint crimson when her gaze met mine. Her eyes glimmered like liquid gold beneath a crown that looked grown rather than forged, as if her entire being was alive with light. And when she spoke, her voice didn't just echo in the air. It resonated inside me. "The human observer," she said, her tone calm but heavy with something deeper. "You watch as though your eyes have never seen light." I froze, unsure if I should bow, speak, or vanish entirely. "Why, Your Majesty," I stammered. "It's an honor to." She smiled faintly, silencing me. "Honor is a word for those who fear meaning. You do not fear." Her attendants, tall figures draped in white, shifted uneasily. I sensed I was already treading on a boundary I didn't understand. From that day on, I couldn't stop thinking about her. Every movement, every flicker of emotion across her face. And though I never spoke to her again directly for weeks, I felt something, a subtle pressure in my mind whenever she was near, as if the air vibrated with her awareness. The Queen's mind. It was said that the Luthari communicated through Elith resonance, a telepathic web that connected their emotions and thoughts across vast distances. For humans, it was almost imperceptible. But some, like me, seemed to feel it faintly, as if an invisible current brushed against their subconscious. I never meant to connect. It happened one evening while I was stationed near the Queen's garden, an enclosed dome filled with glowing trees that pulsed like hearts. The alien night outside shimmered with electric auroras, and the entire world seemed to hum softly. I'd been working late, alone, recalibrating an interface node. My hands were trembling, my mind full of her voice, her gaze, her unshakable calm. And then I whispered it. I wish I could hold her. It wasn't meant for anyone to hear. Just a foolish whisper carried into the silence. But then the silence answered. "Then why do you not?" I spun around, my heart leaping into my throat. The voice wasn't from a speaker, nor an echo. It was inside my head, smooth, deep, unmistakable. "Do not be afraid, human." A soft glow emerged from between the crystalline pillars. She stepped into the light, the alien queen herself, her expression unreadable yet strangely gentle. My knees nearly buckled. "Your Majesty, I wasn't." Her smile deepened. "You whispered it into the air. But the air here listens." She moved closer, and I felt her presence envelop me like a tide. My thoughts trembled, literally. I could feel her inside them, tracing memories, emotions, tiny sparks of fear and wonder. "You think in color," she said softly. "Blue when you are calm, amber when you are flustered. Such simplicity. Such honesty." I tried to look away, but her eyes held mine. "I didn't mean to offend." "You did not," she interrupted. Among my people, to wish to touch another without corruption of intent is sacred. Your thought was pure. The hidden meaning. Days passed. The encounter replayed endlessly in my head. But what I didn't realize was that my whisper had spread. Word among the Luthari attendants traveled fast. The human had spoken a wish aloud, and the queen had answered him. Among their kind that carried weight. To whisper affection into the Elith web was not small talk. It was a declaration of resonance. And a declaration answered by a queen. That was a bonding signal. The next time I walked through the palace halls, conversations hushed. Alien eyes followed me. Some looked curious, others furious. It was Ambassador Wren, my superior, who warned me first. You've stirred something you don't understand, Elias. The queen doesn't answer uninvited resonance. Not without meaning. What meaning? Asked. He sighed. Among the Luthari, thought and touch are the same. When you said you wished to hold her, it wasn't just desire. It was a request for unity. And when she responded, she accepted, I realized. He nodded grimly. At least in their eyes. A queen's confession. That night, I was summoned to her private chamber. The Luthari royal wing was unlike any place I'd seen. Shimmering corridors of light that responded to emotion, echoing faint melodies as you walked. The queen sat on a dais surrounded by orbs of floating energy. Her expression calm yet weary. You understand what you have done? She asked, not unkindly. I swallowed hard. I think I do. Least. I think I offended your people. She rose, her gown of silver fabric flowing like liquid starlight. Offense. Well, confusion, yes. You spoke without knowing our ways. Yet your heart's tone was genuine. I met her eyes, the words escaping before I could stop them. Then why did you answer me? She hesitated. For the first time I saw uncertainty, even sadness, flicker across her features. Because, she said softly, I have not heard an honest thought in decades. She turned away, her voice dropping to a whisper. Here, every word I hear is crafted, measured, polished for politics. Yours was not. It was raw, human. It reminded me that even rulers crave something unspoken. My chest tightened. Loneliness. She met my gaze again, her gold eyes shimmering faintly. Resonance. Connection. The threat. But not all shared her sentiment. Within days, the Luthari Council called an emergency assembly. They accused me, a human outsider, of corrupting the Queen's resonance field, an act punishable by exile or worse. I was escorted into a vast chamber, surrounded by towering figures glowing in varying shades of emotion, anger, suspicion, disbelief. This human has forged an unauthorized bond, a counselor declared. His thought taints the Queen's frequency. The Queen stood, her composure like ice. His thought was untainted. I allowed it. That caused an uproar, an alien chorus of dissonant tones. You endanger the dominion for sentiment, one voice thundered. Sarathan turned to them, eyes blazing crimson. I am the dominion. The silence that followed was deafening. I stood there, barely breathing, realizing what she had just done. In their culture, a queen's acknowledgement of resonance wasn't symbolic. It was binding. She had chosen to protect me, even if it meant defying her own counsel. Choice. Later in private, I found her in the garden again, the same glowing place where it had all begun. She stood before a pool of liquid light, her reflection rippling like stars. You should not stay, she said quietly. Your people will suffer for what I have done.